Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Good morning. We're doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Greetings from Toronto, Canada. I got to tell you,
Oh,
guys, I don't get out on the farm much, but my son, who is a veterinarian, and his wife, they have just started a farm in Vermont. They live in the States.
okay.
And I'm just blown away by how much freaking work it takes. So, Stephen, let's start with you because here you are in season two. You're, leading the charge of the bros and taking over for dad. And it's the drama is there. But aside from all of this stuff like reality show, like I said, running a farm, running a ranch, running a business like this is not easy. How do you manage to do all this and then have the cameras there too?
Well, we certainly wouldn't be able to do this without all of our family working together. I know at times it seems like we butt heads, but at the end of the day, we come together to be able to run this farm and ranch, and there'd be no way to do this individually. When you see like 30 seconds of us working cows or in a tractor, what you don't see is that we were actually doing that for, 5 to 10 hours
Of
throughout that day, and
course.
only 30 seconds made the actual episode. So there's
Yeah.
so much work that takes place that we just don't have time to showcase.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Jesse, for you, like I said, there's all that drama and all that, but just tell me a little bit about what excited you about, sharing your lives like this, your family story in season two.
I would say more so, our work and the farm and ranch lifestyle. There's not a lot of people that have the opportunity that we had to be able to share that and focus in on that and let the world see what it's like to run a farm and ranch and just how hard it is every day, all the problems you face. So I think what we were most excited about was being able to show people just what it takes to do that and the lifestyle of farm and ranchers and how hard they work every day in and out and all the problems that they face. And we were able to do that because of this show, and I think that's what we loved about it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But Stephen, like I said, it's a reality show. We got to have the drama behind the scenes. I mean, come on. We wouldn't sit there every hour just if it was just a ranch watching how it works, right? Like we love that stuff. Gotta admit, gotta, love it, right? It keeps it going, of course. But stuff must happen like when the cameras are rolling. I'm always very interested in this because how much is shown? How much isn't shown? That we get a lot. We learn a lot about your family. There's seems to me no holds barred.
That's exactly right. When we first started down this reality TV venture, the one thing we said we were going to do was we were going to lay it all out there. The good times, the bad times, our good traits and our flaws that we have, of which there are many. We were going to let the viewers see anything and everything so they get the full entire scope of who the Mcbees are, what we hang our hat on and how we run the farm and ranch.
Yeah, and Jesse, like what do you learn from your family, from your brothers, and what has been the most valuable takeaway?
Really just how resilient they are, how much we rely on each other as family, all the hardships. What was really great about this reality show is we work together, but we kind of have our different ventures, so we don't get to see what each other do every day. When you go
Sure.
back and to watch it, you get to see just how hard each one of us works and how many problems we face and everything that we go through in a day. So I think that was really neat to see because sometimes we don't appreciate each other as much as we should. I think that this show helped that.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, Stephen, because when you look back or even you watch back the rushes of the day, or even just looking back at season one and you see, how, yeah, exactly. You learn things about your family that maybe you didn't know. What was there anything that really surprised you at the end of the day?
I've got to give it to my brother Cole. Him and I always butt heads, and
Yeah.
when I don't hear from him throughout the day, I just always assume that he's hanging out at his house, like just hanging out with Casey. They're just driving around doing something, and then you go back and watch these episodes, and Cole's dealing with his own problems on the farm
Yes.
that I don't even hear about. So, like Jesse said, you get a new appreciation for the work ethic and what all of us take on day in and day out that we don't even hear about.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I've got to address your dad obviously pushed you boys to work so hard, gave you such a great work ethic and no secret, he's been through his own stuff, no question. He's been out there too, letting us know what's going on with his life and everything. But at the end of the day, Jesse, I'm going to ask you first, what was the best lesson maybe that you learned from dad that you take forward?
Kind of like you were saying, just work ethic that if you have your family, then you can get through anything. And if you are still breathing, then you can get through any problem. And that's kind of what we grew up on. It's what he taught us as kids is just to work as hard as you can. You can prove people just your character by your work ethic. So that's what we try to do. And what we tried to showcase was just how hard we can work and let people be the judge of that.
Yeah. And Stephen, how about for you? Because, you know, I can't even imagine the pressures that you guys face too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like a mountain at times. And I think along with what Jesse said, another thing that our dad has instilled in us is, treat every single person the exact same with the utmost respect, whether they are the president of the United States or, a lower level worker. Treat them all the exact same, be the most hospitable person in the room, and also carry the most optimism in the room. You can get through a lot of hard times if you keep a smile on your face and you treat people the right way. And so we've definitely learned some great lessons from my dad.
Yeah, I can see that. I just watching you guys and how hard you work. So, Jesse, what at the end of the day are you most excited for fans to discover maybe in season 2? Take away from it.
I would say just to see how us boys handle the farm and ranch differently. With our different personalities, we all have different ideas on what we think the farm and ranch should look like,
Yeah.
and how we about that and how we fight with each other, but how we always come back at the end of the day and that we're still brothers and
Yeah.
still love each other.
Exactly. Family is the most important. Stephen, how about you? What are you most excited for?
Yeah, I'm just excited for viewers to get to see, as we start running the farm and ranch as brothers without my dad, there every single day to make the decisions. How does the direction of the farm and ranch change? Where do we
Right.
see the farm a year from now, 5 years, 10 years from now, and how do we make sure that direction is heading in the right way?
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Well, it's a fun season, a few episodes that I did get to see. So can't wait to tune in for the rest. Thank you so much for your time today, guys, and best of luck with season 2. Take care.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Okay,
you.
take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.